Let's do some myth busting on getting referrals from doctors. You might think you just need to drop off business cards or network, and that's going to be working to be getting referrals from doctors. Let me spill the beans that that doesn't tend to work as well just by itself. Hi, I'm Chen Yen, 6 and 7 figure practice makeover mentor at introvertedvisionary.com. We help visionary holistic health practitioners with growing their practices to a place that's really fulfilling for them and accelerating growth to even multi 6 and 7 figures, the introverted way. And I am so excited to share with you some myth busting tips because they are ones that I've learned over the years, especially from having worked in the conventional medical setting, in the hospital setting, outpatient setting, having seen the insides of the FDA and at Merck. I've seen what it actually gets doctors referred, what doesn't. So let's talk about these biggest myths I often hear about it. Sometimes I hear, oh, I had a good conversation with a doctor, and they said I could drop off my business cards, and then getting really excited about that and feeling like, oh, I'm going to be getting referrals from this doctor. It's going to be great. And then noticing that, okay, a week goes by, like a couple weeks go by, a couple months go by, and it's like, they're not referring. And you might even see your business cards at the doctor's office, or maybe you don't even see them at the front desk. So what is missing as part of this? Part of it is because even if they had a good conversation with you, it may not have been enough for them to be reaching the point of where they feel like, oh, I'm going to be sending this person referrals, and consistently too, right? Because the reality of their day is that they go and see patients. They're really busy typically. In the conventional medical world, it's like super busy. And then they might be seeing patients day in and a day out. They have nurses trying to get their attention. They have vendors trying to get their attention. They have drug reps trying to get their attention throughout the day. And then they go home and they're like, okay, next day. And and they meet different kinds of people all the time. So you might feel like, oh, yay, I started developing this relationship with him or her, and they seem to also like what I have to say. We seem to click and hit it off. But so it requires more than just a good conversation, typically, for you to be starting to get referrals and then consistently getting referrals also. And so part of it is in how you are communicating to that provider in such a way beyond that just initial good conversation. And then, for example, one way to educate, because one reason why they may not be referring is because they don't know about you. They don't really understand the scope of what you could really help their patients with. And they might also be a little bit concerned about safety or efficacy. And if there's still some things there, then they won't be referring. Even if you had a good conversation, even if it felt good, and even if you feel like they get what you do, like they might not really get the scope of when best to refer their patients to, because it's not like they're going to refer everybody to you. Like we wish they would, but it's not like they're going to refer everybody to you, especially at least initially, until you gain more trust. So one way to be able to educate them more about it is by educating through a particular topic or an angle that they would be interested in learning more about. And essentially, I look at it like this. It's like creating one signature talk that you could give to them in a one-on-one setting, via Zoom, in person. It could be in a clinic setting. It could also be in a larger setting too. For example, we've had clients who've spoken in front of larger settings and gotten doctor referrals from that too. And so, for example, one of our clients spoke in front of 70 providers and ended up getting 10 new patients from that, and referrals on top of that too. So there's a range of what you could do there. So that's going to speed up getting referrals from doctors. And the other part of it is also, do you have a system that supports them referring people to you as far as also ongoing referrals? And then it's also helpful for not only the provider to be aware of you and gain that trust in you, their patients, if they are able to feel more comfortable with how you could help them, it will also be of support with you getting referrals. So, for example, what can you give to the doctor that they can give to their patients to also support you getting referrals? So those are two hot tips that can really help you with speeding up getting provider referrals. And, similarly with networking too, and feeling like, oh, if I just network and then have good conversations and then like they will refer. Typically, it is going to speed it up much more by doing essentially like educating them on a particular topic, like I've mentioned, through one signature talk that you could use over and over again in front of different provider audiences. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel, and then gain their trust. And they can be referring. Imagine if you actually had 2 or 3 providers sending you 1 or 2 referrals a week. What would that do for your practice? And so go beyond just dropping off business cards, go beyond good networking conversation. It will speed up you getting referrals. And you need to have a strategy that works. It helps to be more prepared. So when we work with our clients on this and get that one signature talk together, then it just makes life so much easier because you can adapt it to different kinds of situations, whether you only have 5 minutes to talk to a provider, whether you have half an hour, or in different kinds of settings, you can even have an hour to educate and be in front of the provider. So I'm super excited about our makeover mentorships that are coming up here, where we're going to be helping you with this, getting this in place in your practice and helping you accelerate growth. So getting a repeatable process in place to put you on the map more, educate providers by speaking. You know, the times when you might feel like, gosh, don't you wish that more providers would get it and that they would also just understand integrative options better? And if we aren't educating them, who will be? So, you know, beyond just your practice, in terms of growing your practice, this is so important for your profession. It's so important for you as holistic health practitioners to get the word out about what you do and educate the providers on things that they might have misunderstandings about. And so I'm really excited to help you with this. We have 2 ways you could work with us on this. So one way is through creating one signature talk to be bringing in referrals from providers and getting that one repeatable process in place that you could use over and over again in your practice. And the other way is without educating providers through one signature talk. So that is the Consistent Patients Makeover Mentorship for Introverts. So either the 6-figure speaking makeover mentorship for introverts or the Consistent Patients Makeover Mentorship for Introverts. And it's really helping you dial this in so that you have an approach that works and puts you on the map more and brings in that steady flow of patients into your practice. And so I'm super excited to help you with this, and you're welcome to book a free call with us. I'm more than happy to get a better sense of your practice and see if this would be a great practice accelerator for you, and then also help you with this so that you could get this in place within your practice and then not have to be constantly marketing. You know, it's one of those approaches where when you get in place, providers could be referring 3 months from now or 6 months from now or a year from now without you having to be constantly doing something to be marketing your practice. And so that's so nice. And we had a client of ours, the health coach had hired someone who used to be a drug rep to help him with getting referrals from doctors. He's like, oh, I did this and it didn't work that great. What we did was we helped him with getting some key things in place. And even without doing a talk, he was able to give certain assets to a provider's office. And guess what they said? They said, hey, guess what happened? They started referring patients to him. And he didn't even do a talk there, right? It was about getting some key assets in place that he was able to give to those providers. So it's really helpful to have a good approach with this. You could be creating different things, and you could be stopping by different offices. You could be dropping off cards. You could be trying to network and that kind of thing till you're blue in the face. But if you don't have a good approach in place, it could end up taking a lot of your time and energy. And, you know, I think one of the most frustrating thing sometimes about growing a business is that if you do, have you ever felt this way where it's like you're excited about something and then you start trying to do something that's supposed to work, that you've heard is supposed to work, and then it doesn't work. And then you start feeling discouraged, and then you don't feel as excited about actually doing something with it, right? And so why get to that point? Because it doesn't have to be that way. It's not because it doesn't work. It's because you haven't had a good approach to have it pop for you. So why not have it pop for you much faster? So then that way you're actually bringing more patients and clients in the door you enjoy working with, and you can really help. So feel free to book a free call. Go to introvertedvisionary.com, and more than happy to help you grow your practice faster and really have a practice that you're proud of. And this could also be a great way to fill up your associates practices too, if you have other associates too. So can't wait to help you, and see you soon.